Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. Welcome back. Let me just start by saying this NBA coverage stuff, is extremely difficult. Before this year, I was, just watching the games at face value, players, scoring, stuff like that. Now that I have, I'm seriously trying to take the game serious, I'm watching switches. I'm watching off-ball movement. I'm watching all-ball movement. I'm watching defense. I'm watching screens. I'm watching sets, schemes. I'm watching how everybody's moving together. I mean, it's a lot of work. I already work a 2 to 11, so it's not easy at all to do this. But I am trying my best, which in the end, in my opinion, that's all that matters. But I want to cover later, after every team plays about 5 games, I want to do a quick notes on every team, who, scoring, rebounding, how everybody looks on defense. Mainly, those would kind of be my talking points for when that video comes out. But I had to cover what happened last night. We had 2 50-point performances, one by Shea and one by Aaron Gordon. So that's interesting. Let's get into the Thunder one, though, and Shea. Shea and the Thunder played the Indiana Pacers. And as I said, Shea had 55. Super good game out of him. He was 15 for 31. He did take 26 free throws, though. He did, 26. Before I get too in deep of that, I'm going to switch narratives so I don't, anger any Shea fans out there. AJ Mitchell had a good game as well. 9 for 19. He had 26 points. They needed somebody to step up offensively, especially missing Jdub again. I thought, it was a great game out of him, especially, like I said, with the missing Jdub. He stepped up. He looked strong. This is their second overtime game, which is a very strange stat. A double overtime in back-to-back games. Opening night against the Rockets, and then last night against the Pacers. Just, kind of interesting. Something I didn't love, though, about the game was Chet. Chet kind of got picked on a little bit, in my opinion. I went back and watched how Siakam and how Toppin were scoring. And I didn't love, especially Siakam kind of caught him out in the ISO a couple of times. He got him for some mid-range buckets. Obi Toppin would have him on a backdoor. Chet kind of he looked a little small. He looked a little sleepy. I'm not extremely worried. It is only the second game of the season. I'm sure he'll get it right. He did have a negative 0.2 net rating when he was on the floor. Like I said, I'm not that worried about this. He's gonna pick it up. I do worry a little bit about his weight. He looked a little small. Hopefully he kind of gets in the gym a little bit this season, bulk up a little bit. But I did love the Pacers tonight. Even though they lost, I love the way they played. As I said in my rankings video, this is a win by committee offense, a next man up mentality. Without Tyrese, they needed people to step up. And they took this championship team to a war. I mean, as I said, double overtime. Siakam had 32, Benedict Mathurin had 36, and Obi Toppin had 20. It was a good next man up mentality game. There were so many pieces that just fell into place for them. Even though they lost, they looked strong as a cohesive unit. The entire offense did have the entire starting lineup did have a negative box plus minus, other than Benedict Mathurin. So they did kind of just get outclassed at the end of the day. It wasn't by much, but, an L is an L. They got outclassed. Hopefully, next game they look better. We'll have to see what happens for the rest of the season, honestly. And if they run back into this OKC team, how much worse if it gets... I don't know if it will, but hopefully it won't. They can keep it close in the next matchup if they see him again. The other 50-point performance of the night was Aaron Gordon of the Denver Nuggets. And we lost. I'm a Nuggets fan. It was heartbreaking watching Aaron Gordon drop 50 and losing. Of course, it's Steph Curry, though, and the Golden State Warriors. But I took a couple more notes on this game because as a Nuggets fan, I like to, look a little harder into our games. Tonight was mainly just the Gordon, Jokic, Murray show. It was it was really, it was only like them three having the ball. Jamal Murray took 20 shots, Aaron Gordon took 21, and Jokic took 23. That is 64 shots. The rest of the team, Christian Brown took only 7, Bruce Brown took only 3, Tim Hardaway took 8, Val took 5, and Peyton Watson didn't shoot a single shot in his 16 minutes. I don't know what's going on. Oh, and Cam Johnson was 1 for 6 from 3. That's not necessarily on everyone else. That was kind of just his bad shooting night. But opening night, it doesn't worry me that much. However, the passing does. 64 shots between your top 3 players is something that when the team is really, really bad, that's what you do. This kind of two-man offense thing where it's Murray up top, Jokic at a screen, and then, Aaron Gordon, the backdoor, Aaron Gordon swing to the wing. It worked last year because the team wasn't very good. That doesn't need to be ran anymore. I don't know if David Adelman just isn't thinking about that, or if this was a them three decision. But that's something Adelman needs to discuss. This team is good. We have the talent around Jokic to really make a splash. They just gotta trust him. That's just not enough shots. I mean, we just signed Christian Brown to that extension. Bruce Brown's coming back. Only 3 shots. He's got to take more than that. Tim Hardaway, 8's fine. Val with 5, I'm okay. But Peyton Watson not shooting any? And the little bit we did try to pass, we had 13 turnovers. It's something that Adelman needs to sit down and really discuss in practice with everybody of, we don't need to shoot that many shots inside of the the big 3, and just making better passes. Because, turnovers is how you lose a game. And that's what happened. They got out, the Warriors played better defense. They made them commit 13 turnovers. In result, they lost the game. What else made us lose the game is a man who goes by the name of Wardell Stephen Curry. He's unbelievable to watch. I went through and watched most of his scoring possessions. That dude is absolutely unbelievable with the ball in his hand. He hit the shot to bring it to overtime. He is truly just a once-in-a-lifetime basketball player. In my opinion, he's the most influential player to ever step foot on the basketball court. He changed a generation, and it shows. I mean, he's, even in I believe it's his 17th season, he is still just so unfathomably good at shooting the ball and showing up when the Warriors need him to. He had 35 in the second half and overtime. But, he's also out for next this year. Aisha, whatever she'd been talking about in the offseason, she done made the boy a little bit angry. I can't, I'm with him though. If he's not able to make somebody happy, what gives the rest of us a shot if Wardell can't do it? I mean, we just watched him do that. I'm happy. You're happy. Why is she not happy? I don't know. Anyway, Jimmy Butler had a good game too. 21, 5, and 6 on 6 for 15 shooting. He had a good night as well. That's back-to-back good nights for Jimmy Butler. Is regular season Butler finally showing up? I certainly hope so. He has this knack of not wanting to show up in the regular season and just cruising, and then playoff Jimmy. He needs to be good in the regular season for this Warriors team to continue to be good. I think he can. He's just got to have the drive, especially with the bet he made where he's going to shoot a higher free throw percentage. I hope that drives him. The final thought I got is they just better. The Warriors just played a better game tonight, like I talked about with the turnovers. And if you look, the Warriors outside of Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler, the rest of the team took more shots than the Nuggets did. They shot it better. There was better movement. There was better passing. And all around, just a better-looking team than the Nuggets night. So, the Warriors deserve to win the game. I'm not mad at it. I am upset with what Adelman is doing. But I'm not angry at the loss. I'm angry at what's going on. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the 250-point performances we had. As always, I need y'all to remember, I accept all comments, questions, concerns, but at the end of the day, I'm just a guy with a microphone and an opinion. Thank y'all for watching.